solving a linear equation, variables on both sides, and distribution. You're about to see a bunch of topics that look very, very similar to one another. This topic should look similar to other topics you've done. They're just slightly different and are meant to give you practice in solving equations. So looking at the equation we have, negative 4y plus 44 equals negative 8 times the quantity y minus 3. I like to draw a little wall here so that we know where our equal sign is and we make sure that we're doing something on both sides of the equal sign. We want to start with distribution. So in situations where you're trying to solve for a variable and you have a number that's outside of parentheses, you almost always want to start with just distributing this guy out. So I'm going to leave everything else alone except for I'm distributing that negative 8. So the negative 4y comes down, and so does the 44. Negative 8 times y is negative 8y. Now here I have a negative and a negative, which will turn into a plus sign, and then 8 times 3 is 24. So now we want to get the variables on one side and the constants on the other. I'm going to make the decision to move my variables to the left-hand side because that's the more traditional side to have your variables on, but you can move your variables to your right-hand side, totally within your mathematical creative freedom to do that. I'm going to add 8y to both sides because that will cancel the y's on the right-hand side. So negative 4y plus 8y gives me positive 4y plus 44 is equal to 24. Now I'm going to move the constants so they are on the right-hand side. Canceling out the 44s, we get 4y equals 24 minus 44 is going to be negative 20. To get the y by itself, we divide both sides by 4. The 4's will cancel. We have y equals negative 5. So our answer for this guy is y equals negative 5. If we wanted to, we could plug our y back in up at the very beginning and for y and see if we get the same answer on both sides. And I'm going to go ahead and do that once, but I won't do it in the future on future problems for this topic because you only need to see it once. So instead of y, I'm going to put negative 5 in. So we have negative 4 times negative 5 plus 44 equals negative 8 times negative 5 minus 3. Now you could put this in your calculator, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it by hand. Negative 4 times negative 5 is positive 20, plus 44 equals, I'm going to go ahead and simplify within the parentheses first, so negative 5 minus 3 is negative 8. 20 plus 44 is going to be 64. Negative 8 times negative 8 is 64, so both sides are the same. Therefore, our answer is correct. Let's go ahead and do another problem. So we have 3 times u minus 2 equals 7u plus 10. Oops, let's take a blue pen out. I'm going to go ahead and draw my wall here. I'm going to start by distributing, and then I'm going to move things around again. So I will distribute this 3. 3 times u is 3u, minus 3 times 2 is 6, equals, and then I will leave the 7u plus 10. Again, I'm moving my variables to the left because that's the more traditional side, but you could do it the way that your heart says to, as long as it's mathematically sound. These 7u's will cancel. 3u minus 7u gives me negative 4u. The minus 6 from above comes straight down, and then 10 comes down from here. To get the negative 4u alone, I am adding 6 to both sides. These 6's cancel. We have negative 4u left on this side. 10 plus 6 is 16. We can divide both sides by negative 4. The negative 4's will cancel. And we get u equal to negative 4 because 16 divided by negative 4 is negative 4. And that is our final answer there. All right, let's go ahead and do one last example. Here we have negative 5 times the quantity w minus 1 is equal to 8w minus 47. Once again, I'm drawing my wall, and I am going to start with distribution. Negative 5 times w is negative 5w, and then we have a negative 5 and a negative 1, and 2 negatives make a positive. So 5 times 1 is 5. I'm going to pull down everything from the other side and leave it alone. From here, I want to get my variables on one side. I'm going to subtract 8w on both sides. Negative 5w minus 8w will give you negative 13w plus 5. These 8w's are gone. The negative 47 still exists. He just comes straight down with his negative sign. To get the 13w, or the negative 13w by itself, I'm going to subtract 5 on both sides. Negative 13w is equal to negative 47 minus 5 is going to be negative 52. Dividing both sides by negative 13 will give you your w by itself. You can do this one in your calculator. It's going to give you w equal to 4. Negative divided by negative will give you a positive, of course. And that's your answer there. So just remember to distribute, move terms around to the right side, and solve for your variable. You totally got this. Keep believing in yourself. Keep moving forward.